The man you're about to meet is special. Without him, you would never have heard of the clapometer. Without him, you would have never even remembered anyone saying, and I mean that most sincerely, folks. He has a lot to answer for. He discovered Frank Carson in The Bachelors, not to mention Little and Large, Cannon and Ball, Mary Hopkin, and Pam Ayres, or even Pam Ayres. Who else could it be but Hughie Green? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hughie. Happy birthday to you. Sit down, sit down. Happy birthday, Hughie. Now, you didn't know about that. We happen to know, through our fine school of researchers, that this is your 75th birthday today. And there's a little bottle of Blackbush. Ivan Martin was playing the piano there on the accordion. You remember Ivan Martin?
Oh, yes,
Ivan Black,
do.
Sorry, Ivan Martin.
Yeah.
Ivan Black, Ivan Martin, Ivan Black.
Yes.
Was playing the piano, right. You remember Ivan?
Ivan used to do all of our auditions throughout the whole of this country. All the way from Cork right the way up here. I think he even did the audition we did at Carrickmore when we discovered Frank Carson.
Should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, the way I know. Yes, we did a show at Carrickmore, Jerry, and I'd never seen him before. And we had a wonderful evening there,
Yeah.
Great audience and everything else. And here is this comedian. And I said to him afterwards, I said, Frank, would you like to go on Opportunity Knocks? And he said, yes, it's the way I tell him. And I said, fine, and we put him on the show, and of course, the rest is history.
Do you know that you once chased me off the stage?
I what?
I once auditioned for you. A well-known singer asked me to come along with him and accompany him.
Yeah.
And it was in the Shelburne in Dublin. And I was on the stage accompanying this guy, and before he got to sing, I heard this voice in the back, and it was your good self saying, are you a single? Are you a group? And the singer went, well, I'm a single, and said, who's that guy? Get him off. So you threw me off.
See, I was always charming.
But speaking of opportunities, here's you having an opportunity at a very young age. Have a look at this.
Oh, why don't they give you a chance to do the thing that you know you can do best? It's just like a jungle.
A jungle?
Yes, a jungle. Everyone fighting against everybody else. Why can't we... Oh, I can't express it in words. I can say it in music, though.
Hey!
I'll tell you something, Jerry, I couldn't do that today.
Your legs were rubbery.
They were.
Tell me this, how did Opportunity Knocks? I believe you actually started on the BBC.
Yes, we did. We started with the Broken Biscuit Corporation many, many years ago. And in the first series, which was done on radio, we were very proud. I had Dennis Mayne Wilson, who became one of the biggest directors and one of the most influential directors in the country. And he and I did the first show on radio. And out of the first show came Spike Milligan, came Frankie Vaughan, and the late Dennis Goodwin. So, I mean, we didn't do too badly
That's
with that.
some trio of artists, isn't it?
Yes.
But then you went on, then you didn't do that. I mean, you stopped that. Then you went on to do, you went to the opposition, and you did Double Your Money.
Yes, we did. We did W Money for 13 years. We did it all over the world. We did
I can remember that. Can you remember? Double your money and take it away. Double your money, it's your lucky day. Double your money without any hitch.
That's
Double
it.
your money, try to get rich.
That's it. That's it. Give them a round of applause.
Oh, no,
Go
sorry.
on.
No. No, I wasn't.
Tell me, did you used to sing with the chess set when you were with them?
Well, funny enough, I did sing, but I remember once I auditioned for a very famous man, and he asked me to leave the stage.
Did he?
Yes.
And who was that?
It was yourself. I explained it to you a moment ago. But I mean, I don't hold a grudge, Hughie. Tell me this. No, I know, I understand these things. But you were always, what I remember about Dave was that you were always very polite. And I'm only having a bit of fun there, but you were always very polite to the artists, no matter how good they were. And there were some really horrible acts auditioned that day. You treated them all exactly the same.
Jerry, we tried to do that, and everybody who, I'm proud to say, worked with me, we had the same philosophy. We always thought that if people came to audition for us, they were trying to do something. And it was up to us to listen to them and give them a hearing, and not in any way demean them or laugh at them. And as you say, some of the acts were not quite.
As they are everywhere you went, of course. I mean, it's not just there. Who stands out in your mind? If somebody said to you, now, that's the one that you should really be proud of? What do you think yourself?
Well, I tell you, there was so many. I mean, there was Lena Zavaroni, there was Mary Hopkin.
Of course.
And of course, I'll tell you, an interesting thing, particularly being here in Belfast in the north, Mary was nearly beaten by a guy from Londonderry.
Really?
Yes, a fellow called James Conahan, and you'll never believe it, he played an ivy leaf.
I think I remember something about that. Tell us about that.
He played an ivy leaf, ladies and gentlemen. He got the ivy leaf between his two fingers, and he played Le Rêve Passe. Pa, 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 pa. It was sensational. And he was from Londonderry.
If he was on these days in 1995, you'd probably be just wearing one.
Well, well, if he's listening tonight, I hope I get in touch with us. But it was funny to think that he did so well on the show, he could have beaten Mary.
Yeah. History would have changed. But let's talking about here. I mean, you have connections here through the old flying boats. You're a pilot.
Yes, I was in the Canadian Air Force 5 years. I was an instructor, then I was on patrol over the Atlantic, and then I went to Ferry Command. And the first trip I ever made, we were coming from Bermuda in a Catalina to Largs in Scotland, and the weather went sour on us in Largs, and we came into Killadees, which is on Lough Erne, as you know, and my grandfather came from just down the street there, Kesh, in County Fermanagh. So if anybody's listening in Kesh, my grandfather's name was Price. Now, an interesting thing about Catalina is just the other week, a chap got in touch with me, and I've done a documentary. And he said, we're going to do something at Killadees, which I hope will interest you. I said, what is it? He said they sunk, after the war, a whole number of Catalina flying boats at Killadees. And he said, what we're going to do is, he said, we're going to raise one up from the bed of the loch, and he said, we're going to fix it up and put it up as a memorial to the Americans, to Consolidated, who built over 3,000 of those wonderful flying boats.
Yeah, and it's great to get down there. There's a nice museum there, you can see all that. Before we go on a bit, let me just ask you once more, Opportunity Knocks, because it didn't die when you left it. It went on.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
Well, that's a wicked question. This is a wicked man here tonight, just because he's given me a bottle of scotch on my birthday. Let me put it to you this way. The BBC did it, and they employed Bob Monkhouse to introduce it, and I've always admired Bob as a comedian. And when they did the show, I told them, I said, now, whatever you do, don't let him be funny. Remember that his job is to introduce and make the acts. And I think that one of the main reasons was he was a little too funny instead of paying attention to the acts. And then, of course, they didn't have the variety of artists that we used to have, like Ivy Leaf players and the Muscle Man, you know.
That's the musical Muscle Man. That's the one they all remember. Ding, 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 ding. Do you know, you mentioned Frankie Vaughan earlier.
Yes.
Apparently Frankie Vaughan is 67 years old today.
Is he really? Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Frankie. Everybody, happy birthday for Frankie Vaughan.
Frankie, a gentleman who you probably wouldn't know, a minor celebrity here called Jackie Fullerton furnished that information.
Yes.
So there we are. And what do you think generally of game shows these days? Do you think they're too frenetic, too frantic, too greedy?
I think one of the problems with game shows today, Jerry, is they do maybe 4 shows at a time. In other words, instead of doing as we did with Opportunity Knocks, just one show and having fun with it, and having little Monica, who, as you know, happily passed away just recently.
Yes.
They try and do too much. And the people always try and be funny with the contestants. And I personally don't like to see that, because when the contestants are honest, the same way as you were kind enough to ask me about our attitude towards artists who came for auditions. Don't take the mickey out of the contestants. Let the contestants be there and have fun with you. I think they're too automated now.
Okay. Hope to see you again soon, Hughie. Thank
Jerry,
you very much.
Thank
Hughie
you.
Green.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.